Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel. Today is going to be a bit of an interesting one because, of course, as we know all at this moment in time, Frank Lampard's job as Chelsea manager is under massive scrutiny. It does look like he's going to be sacked in the very near future, and that is why in this video I'm going to be looking at the main candidates to obviously replace him as Chelsea manager in the near future if, of course, he is to be sacked. And yeah, I'm going to be going through each one of them, analysing them, and overall giving you my verdict on whether or not I would actually like them to be the next Chelsea manager or not. One thing I do want to obviously quickly get on the line before we do get into this video is personally, a lot of you guys will know if you are subscribed to this channel for a long period of time now, you'll know I'm massively pro Lampard, and to be honest, I still want him to be given the time to actually turn things around at Chelsea, given the time to develop himself as a manager tactically, but we just all know at this stage with the cutthroat attitude of the board like Roman Abramovich, etc., and how Chelsea are run as a club from the very top, that's not going to happen, and yeah, we probably will have to plan now for the next manager to come in because it does look like, as I said, Frank Lampard will be sacked very, very soon. Whether we appoint an interim until the end of the season when another manager obviously takes over in the summer, or whether we just get one straight away and try and guide us into the top four, even though it looks extremely unlikely, is of course uncertain. But yeah, basically as I said, what I'm going to be doing in this video is going through the main contenders to replace Frank Lampard as Chelsea manager, and yeah, I guess let's get into it. Starting off with apparently the board's favourite and actually the board's first choice of the replacement for Frank Lampard, and that is Julian Nagelsmann, currently of RB Leipzig, and yeah, as I said, apparently he is the board's first choice to replace Frank Lampard if of course he is to be sacked. He's 33 years of age, currently working at RB Leipzig, and I know a lot of you guys will think that he's inexperienced because of course he is only 33 years of age, and that inexperienced thing was one of the main things held against Frank Lampard and why a lot of people do want him to be sacked. But he actually has been in management for quite a while because he did really well at Hoffenheim before actually going to RB Leipzig, and of course he has done really well with Leipzig and is continuing to do really well at RB Leipzig. He guided them to the Champions League semi-final last season when they were beaten by, of course, the runners-up in Paris Saint-Germain. He is renowned as a bit of a tactical genius in the footballing world, a bit of a young tactical genius, and one thing I really like about him as well, that probably a lot of Chelsea fans, one of the reasons they actually want him as Chelsea manager is because of the good brand of football he does play. Also the fact that he likes to integrate the youth into the first team and obviously utilise the youth like Chelsea do have with the project and the squad we do have going on for us at this moment in time. And to be honest, I think this project does actually suit him really, really well at Chelsea because, as I said, we're a club that wants to be ambitious in terms of the brand of football. We're a club that have a very young and inexperienced squad that will need that manager to guide them forward, and I think that Nagelsmann is the right manager to fit that criteria to bring us forward as a club given those circumstances. He could get the best out of the likes of Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. Of course, he actually managed Timo Werner at RB Leipzig last season and in years previous as well, so I think he definitely knows how to get the best out of Timo Werner, considering the fact he scored like 34 goals or something last season, which is absolutely incredible in the Bundesliga. And I think he's a very, very promising, good young coach who I think will go to the very, very top, and that is why, in my opinion, he is my personal first choice to take over from Frank Lampard if, of course, Frank Lampard is to be sacked. The only thing about Nagelsmann is that I don't think we'd be able to get him in this season and obviously try and salvage the end of the season. I think it probably would be a bit of an interim thing till the end of the season, and then Nagelsmann comes in pre-season, gets pre-season to work with the players, and then of course takes us over from there starting next season. Which Nagelsmann definitely my first choice, I have to admit, on who I want to be the next Chelsea manager if Frank Lampard is going to be sacked. Next we move on to apparently the second favourite for the Chelsea job, of course, if Lampard is to be dismissed, and that is apparently Thomas Tuchel, who of course is without a job at this moment in time. He just got sacked by Paris Saint-Germain about a month ago and replaced by former Tottenham manager Mauricio Pochettino, and to be honest, I actually was quite surprised about that because he actually was doing a really good job at PSG. He won multiple league titles there, and I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's a farmers league, it's easy to win that league, but you still have to beat the teams in front of you, and that's the main argument I would use in defence of Tuchel there. He also got them to the Champions League final last season, of course beating Nagelsmann's RB Leipzig and only narrowly missing out on the Champions League trophy to a very, very good Bayern Munich team, in fact the best team in the world. I think he did a really good job at Borussia Dortmund as well. He obviously left Borussia Dortmund with his stocks booming as well, and overall I think that in both clubs he's actually been to, he was sacked because of disagreements with the board, which of course is one major downside as to why Chelsea might not want to appoint Tuchel, because I think that obviously we went through an exactly similar scenario in Antonio Conte when he left the club. But again, he's another manager that will encourage a good brand of football, another manager who has been very, very vocal about the Chelsea project in terms of young players and bringing through young players, and obviously he's very motivated by bringing through young players. And yeah, the only downside for me would be of course that element that he has fallen out with boards, and of course if you know about Chelsea you will know that we're probably not the easiest board to deal with in terms of managers, and that's why I think his major downfall could be. But overall I think that one thing that definitely does go his way in this one is the fact that he is available right now. He could come in tomorrow morning if Roman Abramovich and the Chelsea board were to call him up. I mean, he'd be available to come in right now and potentially salvage this season, which of course is going right into the gutter at this moment in time. And I personally believe that if Julian Nagelsmann isn't to come to Chelsea, I think that Tuchel probably will be appointed Chelsea manager within the next month at the very latest. And in my opinion, I think I'd definitely take Tuchel. I think he's very much a manager that would excite me as Chelsea manager. But overall, my first choice is Nagelsmann, and yeah, my second choice probably is Thomas Tuchel. Now on to the third manager in this list, and that is the former Juventus manager Massimiliano Allegri. Now he's definitely the most experienced option we do have in this list. I mean, he's won major titles with Juventus here and there. Overall did a very, very good job at Juventus, but overall I think he's probably the one manager in this list that, you know, a lot of our fans and fans in general aren't really fond of to take over from Frank Lampard at Chelsea, simply because of the reputation for, you know, the bland brand of football he does possess. And also he can be quite reluctant as well in terms of utilising the youth, which obviously would not suit this project we have whatsoever. I think one positive is definitely the fact that he's an experienced head and he's a serial winner, so I think he could get the best out of this squad for a short period of time at the very least. I do think if he wants to come in, he'd actually give some like, you know, short-term success. I think he'd probably win the Premier League or maybe an FA Cup with us, but to be honest, the main downside to this is the fact that I think he probably would be gone in 2 years maximum, simply because of the fact that he probably, in winning those titles, I think that there would be a lot of elements elsewhere that would be, you know, decreased with those winning titles, and yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I think that the Chelsea board will not want to hire him over the likes of Nagelsmann or Tuchel. And to be honest, I wouldn't be totally against if we did bring Allegri in, but I just feel for the, you know, the brand of football he does play and the lack of interest in bringing through the youth players, and obviously that is the team that we've gone for right now. We have a very young squad. I think that there's better options out there other than Allegri, but yeah. Now on to the fourth manager, and that is a bit of a surprising one here, but he has been linked with the job in the media recently, and that is Ralph Hasenhüttl, currently of Southampton. Now, not very likely that he will be hired, of course, because he is doing so well at Southampton. He's done absolute wonders at Southampton given the squad he has got, getting exceptional results out of a Southampton squad, as I said, who aren't, you know, the best in terms of quality. I mean, yes, they do have some very good players, but overall I don't think they have the squad depth that, you know, indicates that they should be fighting for Europa League like they are under Hasenhüttl at this moment in time. Of course, he did sign Timo Werner for RB Leipzig, so you know, he knows how Timo Werner works. He knows how to get the best out of Timo Werner, but yeah, overall I feel like he could actually get the best out of this group of players that we do have at this moment in time. To be honest though, I don't think he'll really be top of the Roman Abramovich and the Chelsea board's list in terms of replacements for Frank Lampard, and to be honest, I actually kind of want him to stay at Southampton because the project he does have there, the project he has worked with over the last few years at Southampton, he's really doing something special there, and to be honest, I want him to stay there and keep this project going at Southampton because it is really, really interesting. And on to the final manager in this list, another one that is probably really unlikely but has been linked in the past, and that is Brendan Rodgers, currently of Leicester City. Now, like Hasenhüttl, as I said, not very likely at all that Brendan Rodgers would take over because he's doing so well at Leicester at this moment in time. They have him second in the league at this moment in time, actually. And to be fair, he's built an absolutely incredible team at Leicester City over the years, and one thing I really like about Brendan Rodgers, he has a real eye for talent in the transfer market. He's very good at finding coups for young players in the market, and not only that, but he's a very, very good coach as well, and I think would work really, really well with this bunch of players that we do have. But yeah, as I said, I really can't see him leaving Leicester because I don't think it would actually make sense for the sake of his career, because yes, we are a bigger club and probably a better project, but Leicester have a really, really good squad right now. He's looking to get him into the Champions League, and they're actually in a bit of a title race at this moment in time while we're down in mid-table, so yeah, I don't think it makes sense for either party to actually pursue this one, but definitely an option I would take. And so yeah, those are all the 5 candidates at this moment in time that are linked with Chelsea to replace Frank Lampard, of course, if he is sacked in the near future, which, let's be honest, is going to happen very, very soon. And yeah, leave it down in the comment section below who your favourite for this job is, or who you would like to replace Frank Lampard as Chelsea manager if you were given the choice to do so. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this video now. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. 20 likes as per usual would be massively appreciated by myself, and also if you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very much appreciated because we are now looking to hit 1,300 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So if you do subscribe to the channel, it costs you absolutely nothing and makes my day, so it is very much a win-win situation, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.